How's it going, YouTube? Just picked up my first three-wheeler. So it's a 1985 ATC 250 ES. So my grandfather brought it home brand new January 9th, 1985. And it's been in the family ever since. This thing hasn't ran in about 16 years. So I've never actually rode it because the carburetor got taken off and misplaced. So I finally got it from my dad, and this is going to be the beginning of a revival for this thing. Now it's been sitting for quite a long time, as you can see. It was on a concrete floor right next to a big window though, so a little bit of fading on the other side of the tank. Every piece of plastic is cracked in it. Yeah, a lot of stuff has been kind of cobbled together on it back in the day, way before I was even born. Like that's a piece of steel tubing with plates welded on the end as a muffler for whatever reason. So I'm hoping this will be a pretty detailed, I don't want to say restoration because I don't want to lose my shirt on this deal, but I'm very happy to keep it in the family and get it running once again. This is exactly how I picked it up. Now it didn't have an odometer or anything, so I don't know the actual mileage on it. But as you can see, it still has the original rear mud flaps. I assume there was some type of reflector here that held that in place a little bit better. But as for the fenders, both sides are basically a write-off. It does still have the glove box, I guess you'd call it, or toolbox. It is pretty cracked up, but amazingly, this entire quad, or trike, I guess, is in a lot better shape than I thought it would be, considering how long it sat. Still has the taillights on it. Yeah, it's been sitting for a long time. It does have electric start and a Kickstarter as well. So before he brought it to me, my dad did fill the crankcase with diesel, hoping to maybe free up anything just in case it is seized from the ring sitting in one spot for over a decade. Little stuff like the shifter shaft, I guess, stripped out on my dad at one point, so he tried welding the shifter on, and that obviously failed, so I'm going to need a shifter for it. I'm going to need to find a carb off of this model, mainly because the one I have, it's missing pieces. Surprisingly, like the cables, foot pegs, and all the pivots aren't seized up, which is a pretty good sign. So I guess my first step would be to roll this into my little shed, take the spark plug out, dump a little ATF down it, let it sit for a couple days, and then try to crank it over slow to make sure the engine's not seized. So it's a day later. I'm gonna start digging into this thing. So what I did last night was just spray any bolt I ever planned on taking off with WD-40 the best I can. So my goal here today is to pop the tank off and get at the valves to make sure they're free from sitting for so long. So see how she goes. So I took out both the valve covers and both valves seem to be moving freely. I sauced them up with some WD-40 and I cranked the engine over. Still don't have a carb on it yet, but I wanted to check for spark. I'm pretty happy with that. So I've been talking to a guy who has a carburetor for sale for one of these, so hopefully pick that up pretty soon. I got a fair bit of crankcase ventilation whenever I kick it, so I'll make sure that's not going to be an issue. So from here I'm going to drain the diesel out of the crankcase and get an engine oil filter and refill the engine oil level. So if you're interested in watching this revival, make sure to subscribe, leave a like, comment, whatever. Should be a fun project. Thanks for watching.